Hello, and thanks for joining us today for another live broadcast of SMTV on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jonathan Sellers.
I don't really want to talk about politics today.
Well, too bad, because we're going
to. We should. The final presidential debate last night. And judging, when you add in all the competition it had for viewers, it didn't do too bad. We had 6.5 million tweets sent during the course of the debate.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty large number compared to, I mean, they're competing with Monday Night Football, which always brings in a huge audience of people. And then also they were competing with the NLCS Game 7, which actually ran on Fox last night. Fox had to air it because they have a contract with them instead of the presidential debate. So those two huge events in sports probably brought down the amount of people who are tweeting about the debate. But all in all, I still think that's a pretty large number considering what they were competing with. So
it really is. And it's also interesting to see, just like all the other debates, what little viral nuggets people grab onto. That is McDonald's newest value menu item, value nuggets, viral nuggets. But so in this case, the big term was horses and bayonets, a comment that President Obama made in response to something that Mitt Romney said. What I found fascinating is that it's really all about how fast you can grab onto this concept. So here's at horses bayonet ETTE that now has 34,000 followers.
Wow.
In comparison, at horses bayonet 4. At horses bayonets, no TE at the end, 27.
Wow.
So how do these other two accounts feel when they compare to 34,000 followers? It's all about getting in there first, I guess.
My guess would be upset because everybody wants to gain some traction and develop an audience off of these debates. But the funny thing to me is, these people are rushing to get these names and handles locked in. How upset would you be if you accidentally misspelled bayonet and 1 second later somebody else pulls that account from you? I mean, that would be tragic, so to speak. So I wonder, first of all, how fast these guys literally got those Twitter handles up right after that statement was made, because that would be interesting to me. Because I think, oh, that would be great, but I don't think, grab my computer, did it horses and bayonets,
And how fast, like with the last debate, the town hall style debate, with how fast that Tumblr account popped up. The Binders Full of Women Tumblr account.
Yep, that Tumblr picked up really fast. I mean, by the time the debate was over, I'm already looking at posts.
At these graphics that people have submitted.
These graphics and GIFs. So, that was definitely interesting to see. And I just find it fascinating how fast this stuff comes up and how quickly they can grow communities. And, Duncan, I think you and I, next time there's any sort of big event like this, we need to try to lock that handle
down. We've got to try to grab it. We're just the funny thing is we're just going to be grabbing at anything they say.
Anything they say.
Register that.
Ice cream, healthcare. We're putting it all together and trying to get the Twitter handle going. So.
Well, there's no possible way that we can catch up with all the buzz. We can grab onto some of the buzz now for the iPad Mini, because that's just already blown up. And we're just lucky to kind of be on the tail end of that. Supposedly, right now, going on is the announcement of the iPad Mini. I say supposedly because we're looking at the live tweeting here. I pulled up the live coverage from the LA Times.
Yes.
And it hasn't been announced yet, but right now they're in the process of this announcement. So as we get closer and closer, further and further through the hour, I think we will probably see more and more updates and eventually get to what is probably going to be the iPad Mini.
I really hope that Tim Cook says the iPad Mini and just pulls an iPhone out of his pocket. I think that would be the most clever thing they've ever done, because everybody's focused and like, hey, yes, we want an iPad Mini. And then they just bring out the phone and boom, you get double traction for the
that would be fantastic. Jamie and I made that
for the phone.
Yeah, Jamie and I made that joke last week, and I would love for him to actually do that as a joke. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be great. And because these Apple people, they need to relax sometimes with these things coming out.
Wound too tightly. Let's play a joke on the American public, on the world public.
I totally would do it if I was the CEO of Apple, that's for sure.
I want to remind you, anytime you have a question or a topic you'd like us to discuss on the broadcast, please send it over to us.
You can email us your questions to questions@splashmediau.com, or you can tweet them to us by using the hashtag SMTVQuestions.
Let's take our first question of the day from Kyle. Kyle wants to know, how should I respond to someone when they endorse me on LinkedIn?
Well, Kyle, nobody's endorsed me on LinkedIn yet. I'm just teasing. No,
so you don't know how to respond.
I don't know how to respond. No, I'm just kidding. But when you receive an endorsement, definitely I would thank the person. I mean, wow, they took time out of their day to stop by your profile and endorse you based on a skill set, or provide you, a lengthy endorsement paragraph form like the traditional or old school LinkedIn profile endorsements used to do. Now they have this new feature where you can endorse people based on individual skills. You can click, I endorse Duncan for SMTV hosting, That's what I would click. So, but I would just thank those people and then also return the favor by endorsing them on some sort of skill set you see fit. So, like, for example, I would endorse Duncan on many skill sets. He probably only endorsed me on one or two. Tie wearing, maybe one.
Definitely tie wearing.
And talking, but that's about as far as I go. But Duncan, I could account management, SMTV hosting. I mean, there's a plethora of. I don't even know if LinkedIn will let me endorse you for all of these.
It won't. You're going to reach your endorsement limit, is what you're going to do.
No, but would you add anything else to that, Duncan? I mean, I really think just thanking them for the endorsement and then endorsing them on the back end would be suffice.
I think a thank you is great. I think a thank you is going to be more valuable and better received if you're just getting started on LinkedIn.
Sure.
If you've got hundreds and hundreds of connections on LinkedIn, I wouldn't worry too much about the thank you, but I would do your other suggestion and endorse them back for skills that you think they possess in their jobs and careers. Because just like you said, there's a difference between the current endorsing feature and the recommendations, which are still around.
Right.
And a thank you for a well-written recommendation is huge.
Sure.
That is such a nice gesture. But I think just re-endorsing people, endorsing back is a great gesture if you've got hundreds or thousands of LinkedIn connections.
Paying it forward.
Paying it forward.
Sounds good. Penny wrote to us, what do I do when I have followed too many people on Twitter?
Well, I think you just have to wait. Unfortunately, what you have to do is wait for Twitter to unblock or unsuspend your account, because you may get dinged for following too many. And it's not because you have too many people in your follow list total. It's the amount of time that you've started following people and just click follow over and over again. That's when Twitter is going to ding you.
Yeah, you don't want to get dinged too much.
You don't want to get dinged.
I mean, if you get dinged too much, that could be a problem. But yeah, that's really all you can do is wait and then try to unfollow a few people and go through and be a little bit more, maybe be a little bit more sophisticated in how you're targeting who you want to follow. So that's what all the recommendations I would mean. That way you don't run into that problem every day, because that could certainly get annoying if you're over following, every day of the week. I mean,
that's a great idea. Yeah, I think the key is really to not only unfollow some people, but be a little bit more targeted. And you can, in cases like celebrities, if you're following Jonathan and me, celebrities that we are,
right,
we may not follow you back. So what you can do is put us in a list.
Yes.
You can create a list without having to follow the person, so that it doesn't add to your follow count and you won't get dinged for that.
Sure. Yeah, we never follow anyone back.
Carolyn wants to know, is it possible to promote my blog through Pinterest?
Yes, it is definitely possible. In fact, we all absolutely recommend it, especially if you have a blog with a lot of visuals and pictures and photographs. We definitely recommend it. Pinterest is a great way to sort of direct traffic to your blog by linking your blog post, showing off those beautiful photos that you have on the blog, and can definitely drive a lot of traffic. So we absolutely recommend that you promote your blog on Pinterest.
I totally agree. That's really the idea behind Pinterest.
Sure.
Besides being able to pin videos also, the main idea is to be able to pin things that you see from other sites and your own material that catches your eye and you want to save.
Yep. So definitely recommend it.
Yep.
Brad wrote to us, what is mRank?
The little M in mRank stands for Mashable, and this is just Mashable's way of ranking whatever's going on in Twitter, Facebook, all the trends across social media, so that you can see them in sort of a real-time manner.
Right, that's pretty much it. And basically they've been testing it, I know, a lot on big-time events and television programs that they think will generate a lot of buzz and interest. So it's sort of a new feature that Mashable's introduced, but it's very cool.
It is cool, and you can just do a quick search on Mashable for mRank, and there's a little description up here at the top. You can follow the topic itself and scroll down and see everything that is trending that Mashable is pulling in through their mRank leaderboard here.
I heard they tried to mRank SMTV, but it was just, the score was too high.
It broke the chart.
It broke the chart.
Really super questions today. That's going to do it. We'd like to thank you for joining us this Tuesday afternoon, and keep those questions and topic ideas coming in. For Splash Media, I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jonathan Sellers. Be sure you have a great day.